Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. You're watching the Gamecast. My name is Denzel and in this video I will take you through our top 10 best story-driven games we personally ever played. There's no official order in this list, so all of these games are pretty much equal, so it's not like number 1 is better than 10. So guys, please don't be offended if your favorite game is not on the list. We had a hard time putting this list together, and we probably could have made the top 20, 30, 40, 50 or whatever. Well, we stopped at 10 because otherwise the video would have been too long. Well, let's get straight to the list. So to start off with the first game, at number 10 we put The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This actually should contain the whole trilogy, since the story continues in every part and is so damn good. You really get dragged in. If you are a person that loves a great story, you should definitely look into these games. The Witcher is an action-adventure open-world RPG, where you can travel around in a large world that contains a lot of secrets. You play as Geralt of Rivia, who is a Witcher, which sort of means he's a mutant. He's half human, half witch, which gives him the ability to somehow cast spells. Besides the amazing storyline the game has, it also offers you a bunch of side quests to follow, which sometimes end up to be pretty big. The story is about Geralt, who is a monster hunter for hire, who embarks on an epic journey to find his former apprentice. Before the Wild Hunt, well, the bad guys of the game, capture her and use her and bring about the end and destruction of the world. Next off at number 9 we put Mafia II. Mafia II is an open world Grand Theft Auto-like game. The game doesn't let you down on anything. The story is set within the fictional city of Empire Bay from 1945 to 1951. The story follows Vito Scaletta, a young Sicilian-American mobster and war veteran, who becomes caught up in a power struggle among the city's mafia crime families while attempting to pay back his father's debts and secure a better lifestyle alongside his best friend. The game is fully story-driven. There are some things you can do on the side to make some money, like stealing cars and selling them for cash. The game does an amazing job with the character development throughout the game, and you really are on the edge of your seat and just want to continue to see what happens next. I do recommend to play the first Mafia game as well though. The story doesn't actually continue in the second part, but you do see characters come back throughout the series, what makes it pretty cool. Next up is number 8, The Last of Us Part 1. We took the remaster here, but the game is the same as the original, just a big upgrade in graphics. The Last of Us is an action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. As a player you control Joel, a smuggler tasked with escorting a teenage girl, Ellie, across a post-apocalyptic United States. The Last of Us is played from third-person perspective. Players can use firearms, improvised weapons, and can use stealth to defend against hostile humans and scary mutated zombies. The game is fully story-driven. You are free to walk around in the area the story brings you in. You can enter all of the buildings and loot every apartment, house, or office, which is highly recommended though. It's not an open world game, but this game is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Let's go to number 7 and let's add The Last of Us Part 2 immediately after. The Last of Us Part 2 is a game from 2020. It's an action-adventure game, again developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It's set 5 years after the previous game. The game focuses on 2 playable characters in a post-apocalyptic United States whose lives intertwine. Ellie, who set out in revenge, and Abby, a soldier who becomes involved in a conflict between her militia and a religious cult. The game uses a third-person perspective. The player must fight human enemies and again mutated zombie-like creatures with firearms, improvised weapons and stealth. The game focuses mostly on Ellie, but also you get to play the other characters as well. I do recommend to play the first game. It would be a shame if you would miss out on that part of the story. You really get attached to the characters. The story is amazing in part 2. They made it shocking, loving and scary. It just all works out amazingly and I love it to death. Up next is number 6. Here I'm definitely gonna put the whole Tomb Raider series, but I will specifically go in on the definitive edition. Tomb Raider is set on Yamatai, an island from which Lara, who is an untested and not yet the battle-hardened explorer she is in the other titles in the series, must save her friends and escape while being hunted down by a malevolent cult. The game plays in third person and is just great to play. The action and shooting feels great, the stealth you are able to use to kill the enemies, it all just works out perfectly in this game. The story is great and drags you through all 3 parts, and you really see the character develop from kid to grown explorer and full-on action hero adventure as we know. The first game of the series went on to sell more than 14.5 million copies, which makes it the best-selling Tomb Raider title till date. If you started the first game, you will definitely go through all 3. Number 5. Red Dead Redemption 2. This is an amazing Grand Theft Auto version of the Wild Wild West, but story-wise, much better if you ask me. The story is set in a fictionalized representation of the United States in 1899 and follows the exploits of outlaw Arthur Morgan, a member of the Van der Linde gang, who must deal with the decline of the Wild West whilst attempting to survive against government forces, rival gangs and other adversaries. The game is presented through first and third person, but mostly third person perspectives, and the player may freely roam in its interactive open world. Gameplay elements include shootouts, robberies, hunting, horseback riding, interacting with non-player characters and maintaining the character's honor rating through moral choices and deeds. A bounty system governs the response of law enforcement and bounty hunters to crimes committed by the player. Number 4, here we put Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is a 2017 action-adventure RPG developed by Guerrilla Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It is the first game of the Horizon video game series. The plot follows Aloy, a young hunter in a world overrun by machines, who sets out to uncover her past. You can use ranged weapons, a spear and stealth to combat mechanical creatures and other enemy forces. The skill tree provides you with new abilities and bonuses. You can explore the open world to discover locations and take on side quests. I love the story of the game. The best part is that you have no clue what happened to the world and why the world has become what it is. And throughout the story you find out more and more and more and come closer to what happened to the old civilization. Us actually. And the game keeps you guessing throughout the whole game. It was a great experience going through this story. Number 3, maybe unexpected for some, but Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This game is definitely one of the games I finished the most amount of times. The story is from start till end one big progress. The character develops and becomes better, smarter, wealthier. Story-wise, it's the best Grand Theft Auto by far for me. I can still play it till this day and just absolutely love the story and progress of the game. The story follows Carl C.J. Johnson, who returns home following his mother's murder and is drawn back into his former gang and life of crime while clashing the corrupt authorities and powerful criminals. Carl's journey takes him across the fictional US state of San Andreas. At number 2 we have a Blakedale Innocence. Set in 14th century France during the 100 Years' War, the game focuses on the plight of Amicia de Rune and her ill brother Hugo as they flee from soldiers of the French Inquisition and from hordes of rats that are spreading the Black Plague. You play as Amicia using a combination of stealth and limited tools to hide from, distract or knock out soldiers, evade rat hordes and solve puzzles, incorporating elements of survival horror games. You play in third person with Amicia. Most of the game has to be played in stealth. It's mostly impossible to face enemies head on, but it makes the game special and somewhat unique. The story of this game is just great. It's like most of the games on this list, it's almost like a movie. And for number 1 we have Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. Splinter Cell Conviction is the 5th console game in the Tom Clancy Splinter Cell series of the games and the 7th game overall. It was released on April 13, 2010 for the Microsoft Xbox 360 in North America, which is a long time ago. In this installment, Sam Fisher has left Third Echelon and is investigating a rumor that his daughter's death wasn't an accident. In a drastic change from the previous games, Sam is perceived to be much quicker, stronger and far more brutal in his quest for the truth. So for the people who played through all of the Splinter Cell games, this game was perfect to end with. It gave you an insight on Sam Fisher's life and you really felt the hatred the character felt and you really couldn't stop playing until all answers were on the table. The writing in this game was a job well done. But also for this game I kind of recommend to play the previous parts. It is not as necessary as the ones where I recommended it before in this list, but you do enjoy it more knowing the previous stories. So everyone, I hope we gave you a video to enjoy. Don't be mad at us if you don't agree. Let us know what games we should have put in this list below in the comment section. Like I said before, there is no real order in this list from which one is the best out of all 10. They are all equally as good. Please subscribe to our channel, if you like our content of course. It would mean a lot for us. Just press the little red button down the screen. Have a great day y'all and see you on the next one. Bye.